all of your questions have been answered. That's because the answers are within you. But you could be having a lot of questions at this time because you're being asked to look at yourself and change in some way. And that means self acceptance. That means coming to understand who you are and your life purpose, why you're here. And I'm talking about that today because I put up the messages for August the 25th, but it's still the 24th today. But that's what I have to talk about because I also have to accept myself. And it was challenging because when you've done something unique, which you're supposed to do as well, that can be difficult because you're trying to compare yourself to everyone else and you're not understanding that you have this innate worth and value that's meant to be developed, and especially now. Our world is moving through a great transition, and so you would be feeling that within your life and with what you're meant to do now, and that would be uncomfortable until you do that thing that's in front of you. And I can say this because I struggled with it for so long. Now, I never could have told you that I would bring to the world a philosophy that would have you live your best life and have us create a much better world, but I know that that's what's going on, and that's why I was given that work. But I resisted, like you might have resisted who you could become. But I'm no longer doing that because what I've discovered is I've done something so incredibly unique that no one had done before. That means when I started receiving information from Wilhelm, I just started doing automatic writing. And in the last several years, it's shown me that it's been organized energetically with the changes that were happening in our world, our planets, all of that, because they always affect us. But no one had interpreted them in this way as Wilhelm did. And this is why I healed. I will be 75 November 2nd, and all the stuff that I was moving through before, physically, mentally, emotionally, all those things are gone because I started answering more of the questions. And now that's what I'm going to give to everyone else. But this was a really hard one for me, as it might be for you, because we're seeing everything around us and we're trying to fit in. You're not supposed to fit in. You're supposed to become yourself, and especially now. As our world is moving through this great transition, you have more pressure on yourself to own who you are, as do I, and that's what I'm doing. Because I've created something that can take any person to live a great life, and I know that, and that's why I guarantee it. There's no accidents here. What I've discovered that all the information was energetically aligned. Everything I've received for 36 years, which I couldn't have told you that, was energetically aligned. And so when you come into alignment with yourself, then you start to heal, you start to see things differently, and you live the life you're supposed to have. And that's what I'm doing. You're supposed to have this great life. You're supposed to be in love with yourself. You're supposed to let go of all the old stuff and accept something new. That's what we're all doing. But when you look at the messages, you will see the projection because it was a progression that happened over years of all the information that I received. And I know that it'll change your life, and this is why I guarantee your success. The reason I say that is because I discovered that I had this incredible ability, intuitive ability, which I ignored for a long time, but I had this incredible ability to access information, cosmic guidance that was actually universal consciousness, that was actually mindset, that was cognitive behavior training. It was all those things together. And then over the years, I healed absolutely everything, even incurable things that people thought this is not possible. It is when you understand who you are and when you become willing to accept that. We don't always do it. I couldn't do it either. And as you read the messages for the 25th, you will see that it was a progression of me accepting this information and coming to understand it. And we're at a place now in our world where we can't expect more people to understand it. You're going to have to do that. And you're going to have to decide that your life is really worth something and you want to develop it now, because that's going to be the greatest contribution that you could make, not only to yourself but to the world. And that's the information that I came to understand. As you read the messages for the 25th, you will see what I'm talking about. But I held myself back as well. So I'm changing that now because I have enough information to take any person to greatness, to becoming who you're meant to be. And I do know that because I can. Any question that you might have, we have the answer. I either have written it through Wilhelm or I get it when I'm doing a channeling session, but it's all here. but I ran from it. Can't do that anymore because it's been proven to me how potent, profound this information is, and that's what you'll see too. So I just wanted to give you this tonight because now what I'm doing is I'm really completing it all. I've said this for as long as time as you might have, but it was shocking to me to discover that I had been accumulating this much information that could change your life and make you have the life you're supposed to have. But I know that I can do that, and that's what I'm devoting my life to. So now my life is going to be about working on the program, completing all of that, but working with private clients. That's what I'm loving a lot more. And so all that information is there. I wrote an article. You can see all of that. But I wanted to give you this tonight so you can look at this information and decide if you're going to come into the program, because what I'm going to do is actually move it to that much higher rate, where because it should have been that a long time ago, and that's what we have to do as well. We have to become willing to embrace and honor our worth and value depending on what we've done. I'm going to be 75 on November 2nd, and I've done everything. I've been through everything you have. I do understand, and I know it can change, and I know what you can accomplish, and I know how you get there, because that's what my life was. Now you just have to decide if you're going to have the life you want and contribute to the world becoming better, because it can only happen if you decide to become your best self. Check out everything, and please subscribe to the channel if it's your first time, and share it with others, because now my mission is to take this much bigger, much larger audience, because I've been hiding out, but now that's going to change, and I hope it changes for you as well, because you're here to do something wonderful now. See you soon.